Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Rose Bowl, January 1st, 1954. As you know, the game is about to be played between Michigan State and UCLA. Both teams had identical records, winning 8 and losing 1. The UCLA's defensive record was a little superior to Michigan State's, inasmuch as they had only allowed 48 points to be scored against them all year. There's a great day in California in the morning. There's the big Tournament of Roses parade. Something over 2.5 million blossoms make up the various floats that take part in the parade, and it is a wonderful sight. There's the line coach Duffy Doherty down there with the linemen, the Michigan State squad, the white pants and their traditional green jerseys, green helmets, and here we have some of the Michigan State rooting section. We certainly had a lot of people out there on our side, and it was wonderful to have their support. Here's General Dean and his lovely wife, and also the president of the Tournament of Roses, Mr. Harry Hurry. Here we have Queen Barbara and her court. Very nice, fine bunch of young ladies. There's Joe College down there with Sparty. There are a little over 100,000 people in the stands, and of course there were many millions that watched this game on television or heard it on radio. It was broadcast over both oceans. The day is perfect. In other words, there isn't any wind, and the temperature is ideal for a good football game. Here we have the UCLA band. I might say that I was awfully proud of the wonderful work of my staff and the players, and of course the staff, they are the ones that deserve the credit. That includes our trainer, Jack Heppenstall, who has been with Michigan State for 40 years as trainer, Dr. Furig, Irwin Kapp, our equipment man. In other words, our whole team. I was awfully proud of the whole team, players and assistant coaches and everybody else who added to our winning this ball game. Both bands performed very well. We were certainly proud of our band in the Tournament of Roses parade, and of course out on the football field. This is one of the things, however, that I never see. That fellow that struts out there, he'd make a good end, I guess. I understand that the Michigan State marching band, under the direction of Leonard Falcone, put on superb performances wherever they marched or played. Here we have Captain Feldman and Captain Dowd with Captain Dahoney tossing the coin. George Renix is the referee. UCLA won the toss, and Michigan State will kick off. Now I repeat, the Michigan State team have the white pants on and the traditional green jerseys with green headgears with a white stripe. Robinson, number 77, a left tackle, does the kicking off, gets a pretty good boot. Ball goes down to about the 7. It's taken by number 34, Cameron. Cameron is tackled by Bolden, number 39, on about the 18-yard line. UCLA with the ball. Number 31 is, of course, Daly, their fullback. Later on, number 27, Davenport, comes in the game. They have good fullbacks. Here's that big, powerful Cameron. You can well understand why he was on most of the All-Americans all year. Number 34, playing a tailback. And I might add that he's a good punter, a wonderful passer, all-around good football player. I met him on a couple of occasions out there, and as all players are, they're fine young men. They really are. No matter what team they're playing for, they're wonderful young men. There was a quick kick by Cameron. The ball went out of bounds on the 30-yard line. Michigan State takes over. They are in the T formation. The first play is a handoff to Bolden, who picks up 7 yards. UCLA using a 6-2 defense right here. They're big and tough. There isn't any question about it. Michigan State scored more points on UCLA than 8 of their opponents did during the regulation season. We have the pony backs in there right now. Pony backs have been very famous for Michigan State. There are some of them graduating. Left half is number 39, Levi Bolden. Slonik, number 33. Wells, number 14. Usyk, number 41. And on the line we have 83, which is left end, Quinlan. 73, Jeb. 51, Neal. 55, Hallmark. Bulla, number 67. Fowler, number 70. And at right end we have our team captain, Don Mahoney. Here is Slonik going up the middle. Not quite sufficient for a first down, and we are in punt formation with Usyk punting. The kicking game is very important in college football, or any football for that matter. And as this game goes on, you can see where the kicking game was more important than I think anybody realized. Number 24 is Stitz. Plays right half back. We had a lot of worries about Stitz. In fact, we practically set our defense to try and stop him. We like to stop everybody. Now there's a fumble by Cameron. Michigan State recovered, so it is our ball. We get the first break of the game, and here's a fake with Slonik, the fullback, hitting up the middle, not getting very far. This defensive team of UCLA, they were really tough. Usyk passes down the field, intended to go to Wells, and the ball was intercepted on the 12-yard line by number 34, Cameron. So UCLA takes over. The ball there on that occasion went to Daly, number 31, who played a very fine game at fullback. You can see this team's a big team. Well, they're big and we're good size and active. We're not saying that we're too little. We do all right for our size. In fact, those seniors have done better than all right. They have won 20, I believe it's 27 out of 28 games as a regular schedule. And that's pretty good in any man's league. Bolden fumbled, and UCLA recovered right down there on the 37-yard line. Cameron goes back to pass. He fakes. He gets around the end. Pretty good blocking, and he goes down there, as you can well see, to about the 23-yard line. UCLA shifts right. Ball goes in there to a new fullback now, Davenport, whose number is 27. He's the one that really did a lot of power driving for this fine football team, representing the Pacific Coast Conference, and Michigan State representing the Big Ten. Pass intended to go to Loud, incomplete. Davenport again, hitting in there real hard, trying to get a first down. This UCLA team is fired up, of course, and I don't think there's anything wrong with our team, except we get outplayed this first half a little bit. Here's Cameron throwing a pass down to number 24 into the end zone. Stitz, the right halfback, for the first touchdown of the football game. Stitz holds, and the kick, of course, is good. 7-0. UCLA leading Michigan State. UCLA kicks off from the 40. Ball is taken by number 11, Jimmy Ellis. We have quite a number of new men in there right now. I shouldn't say new men, they're all veterans, but I mean fresh men. Earl Morrill of Muskegon is in there at quarterback now. Matt Sock is at right halfback, number 43. The left half, as I mentioned before, is Ellis. and Planutis, number 45, is at the fullback spot. Morrell throws a pass down the field intended to go to Matt Sock, number 43. It is incomplete, so the ball is on the 30. Here's a handoff to Ellis. He starts inside, goes wide, and he's driven out of bounds over there, not gaining anything on the play. Michigan State is held for downs. It's fourth down coming up. Morrell is punting. Punting was real good in this ball game. UCLA takes over. They've changed some of their personnel a little bit here. Number 19 is Villanueva. And we'll point out their personnel as we go along. Red Sanders of UCLA is a very fine coach. He's had a wonderful record. Now, this is something that UCLA had not done before during the season. That is, they shifted from their single wing to the short punt formation. And there isn't any question but what this upset our players for the first part of the game. You'll notice them being a little jittery. Some of them are offside, or not quite offside. They move when the shift takes place. So we come to the end of the first quarter with UCLA leading 7-0 over Michigan State. Ball was given to the tailback, who hit up over the middle from the short punt formation. They shift to the short punt formation again. Cameron goes back. He throws a long pass down the field, and there is a potential catch by Heidenfeld, number 83. He fumbled the ball into the end zone, and Jimmy Ellis recovered. There Ellis is met by the UCLA student body. They're all there to greet him. And the handoff this time goes to Planutis, and he takes a couple of photographers with him as he goes out of bounds. There's a flanker out the left. Matt Sock, number 43, is out there. Morrell goes back to try to throw. He's rushed badly, and the ball is knocked out of his hands with UCLA recovering on about the 18-yard line. That was a tough break, I'll tell you that, and as far as football goes. It's pretty difficult to have all the breaks. Michigan State has had their share throughout a lot of years. They've lost 2 games in 4 years and have a wonderful record. 1950, they won 8, lost 1, 51 and 52. The team was undefeated, and this year they won 8 and lost 1 up until this Rose Bowl win. Cameron goes back on a pass. He throws a screen pass out there to Stallwick, and Stallwick really makes quite a run down here down to the 4-yard line. That was a well-executed play by UCLA, and from here on they go in for a touchdown. Cameron takes the ball, heads back and slashes up inside to the 2. Michigan State players are really digging in quite hard now, and here's a pass into the end zone. Incomplete. Cameron goes out and he slashes back, which is his favorite play, and he goes in for a touchdown. We worked awfully hard, both sides, against that starting out and slashing back play, and things at the present time do not look too good for Michigan State. UCLA is leading 14-0. Stallwick kicked the try for point. The kick was not too long that time. UCLA is still using their 6-2 defense. They're pretty big, and it's awfully hard to go inside of them, particularly when we are playing from a fairly tight formation. We have the pony backfield in there again. Bolden goes off tackle, bringing the ball up to the 41-yard line. It looks to me as though UCLA is doing a pretty good job looking him over. However, we don't go many places here. We gained some, but not quite enough. Here's an optional play. Usyk is finally hit and dropped, not quite getting the ball up to midfield. It's on the 46-yard line at the present time. UCLA is changing a little bit now. You'll see their defense is cocked over the right a little bit. They evidently are not fearing our running attack. In fact, there hasn't been any team that has been able to run on them much. Stanford beat them 21-20, but that was mostly through the air, passing game. Pass down there intended to go to 32, Ellis Duckett from Flint, incomplete, and it is our last down when we have to punt. The punt protection was excellent. Great job done by the line, the ends, in fact the whole team. This was a team effort. You'll see as we go along this movie, and for the most part all of Michigan State's games have been a team effort. UCLA fumbled and recovered their own fumbling. There's that quick shift. Larry Fowler is offside, and we do not, of course, blame him. He's eager to get in there. We like eagerness. There's the short punt again, hitting off in there with Stitz, number 24, carrying the ball, bringing it up to about the 22. 23, 22. Shift to the left, and there's a spinner play, handing off on the spin to Cameron, number 34. Now watch this closely. Here's the punt formation. Ellis Duckett comes in from the left. He jumps up in the air about 4 feet. He gets the ball. He blocks the punt, and he gets the ball into the end zone for a Michigan State touchdown, and this was very definitely the turning point of the ball game. Real quickness on his part, and the staff deserves an awful lot of credit for working out that punt blocking deal. We've worked on it all year, but we haven't always blocked the punt. Bill Quinlan blocked one down Ohio State that meant an awful lot to us. Now, the UCLA team rears back strong. They were shocked momentarily with this punt blocking by Ellis Duckett. The head linesman, Deal, called them offside. They shift to the left, and they are, of course, coming out with a lot of zip, as you can see. We're back in the ball game again with the score 14-7. Slonik, number 33, kicking the try for point. The UCLA team has a single wing to the right, and then they shift into punt formation. Ball is about on the 38-yard line. Here's Cameron going back to pass, and he threw one out there. A brilliant play by Matsock. All year long, Johnny Matsock has been brilliant on pass defense and also in other departments. There isn't much question that he's going to be a great football player for Michigan State. We hold them for downs, which is very important. Cameron kicking. Ball is taken by Leroy Bolden. Bolden brings it up to the 20 before he's down almost to the 20 short. Matsock on an option play keeps, and he picked up almost, well, we'll say 9 yards, just short of a first down. That was the option play. Michigan State again with Matsock under the center, and Matsock took, bringing the ball up to the 28. Another option play, Matsock keeping, doing some nice running before he slipped and went down, almost another first down. This time he keeps again, and he hits up there before he's stopped by a lot of UCLA players. A nice bit of maneuvering by Matsock, and we're going to try and pass now with Usyk in there, and Slonik, a screen pass is thrown to Slonik, and we lose yardage on the play. Usyk on a rollout pass is rushed. Got the pass away. It was intended to go to number 14, Wells. We are getting close to the end of the first half. Here is Usyk going back again. Throws the ball incomplete there. That was almost intercepted. Usyk was rushed awfully hard, and we get a chance to punt, thank heavens. Usyk kicking. Usyk's career as a quarterback, he lost one game, and of course that was to Purdue, who tied for the Big Ten championship last year. Villanueva likes the outside, so he starts in and takes the turn around end, bringing the ball up near midfield, the 48-yard line to be exact. Michigan State, they're using multiple defenses in here. You can see them shifting around. We never quite like to have them know exactly where we're going to be. Villanueva's thrown for a loss on that occasion back to the 46-yard line. Shift left. Here's a spinner play. Stallwick has it. Stallwick is a very good substitute for Stitz at wing back and a real good runner. Very fast. We are in a 6-2-2 defense now. Villanueva throws a pass down there, almost intercepted by Billy Wells. Villanueva, number 19, comes back. He's rushed and finally brought down by a number of the Michigan State players. There we are at the end of the half. Score, UCLA 14, Michigan State 7. There they had a little card trick. I understand it said the Munn is blue. Well, that isn't any kidding. I was blue at halftime. But at the end of the game, Red Sanders' face was red. I just say that as a little gag. I didn't see that, but they said it was all right. Here we have the card section spelling out UCLA, and they do a wonderful job. Now we have the Michigan State marching band putting on a fine show in between halves. We had 20 minutes in between halves. Might say we needed it. A lot of people have asked what happens at halftime, and I think this is just a good time to mention a few things. The men who are in the press box are Earl Edwards or Steve Sebo, Danny Devine, Bob Devaney, John Cobes, or anybody who's up in the press box. In the scouting booth, they come down and they tell us any weaknesses that they might see in the defense of the other team. And then we put these weaknesses on the board and we talk about plays that we think will work against them, or some maneuvers that we might have in our offensive strategy or defensive strategy that might take advantage of what they're doing. This is all done on the blackboard. There isn't any ranting and raving around, as a lot of people think. For this Rose Bowl game, however, there is a little story I'd like to tell. I was up real early the morning of the game, and I sat there in my room watching the sun come up, and I thought of something. So I went over to the desk and wrote down on a piece of paper, we'd come back from the floor in 54. I had anticipated this team would be behind at halftime. So as I went in there, I told them the story that I'd written this little note, and I said, Captain Mahoney, would you please read this note to the squad? And I said, I've coached you fellas for a long time, and I know you better than anybody else. So Mahoney read it, and for a while there were a few chuckles. Actually, the note read, we come off the floor in 54. But Mahoney read it, and a few chuckles went around. Pretty soon the kids started to get serious about it. They started to chant a little bit about, we come off the floor in 54. And then they did put out it very well in the second half. I did say a few other things to them, bringing out a few facts that they were not only representing Michigan State, but that they were representing the Big Ten and also the whole eastern part of the country, and that they had 30 minutes to play in this ball game and a whole lifetime to talk about it. And I was real pleased when they came back and did such a nice job, that, as you will see in the second half. Here's the UCLA marching band out at the present time. The Michigan State marching band is on the sidelines. There was a picture of Red Sanders and myself. As I said before, I didn't get a chance to see this. There was a good bit of kidding going on out on the field. There were a lot of people that thought Michigan State looked like a high school team, and when we went out there, at the Huntington Hotel, there were quite a number of the ladies there who said, what is this, a high school team? Of course, they were looking at some of those small backs. So I had to say in the beginning, I said, don't be misled. I said, those boys have won 26 out of 27 games. And they've performed awfully well in real tough competition, beating teams like Minnesota and Michigan and Ohio State. And also, before this year, they had quite a record against Notre Dame, winning 3 in a row. So I told them, I said, now, don't be misled. I said, they'll do a good job. Which, of course, we were happy they did do. But when we came on the field at the beginning of the game, the UCLA cheering section made the comment, and they gave a yell to East Lansing High School. And, of course, I used that at halftime, telling the players that this was indeed an insult to them. You know, you use everything you can at halftime, I'll tell you that. You always play to win and do the best you can, but you win fair and square. You never try and teach a boy anything that's not within the rules. And I like the way the Michigan State players play, and I like the way they conduct themselves off the field as well. We've had letters from the people out on the coast that said this was a wonderful bunch of young men, and they conducted themselves as gentlemen all the way. We have our choice, so we choose to receive naturally the there isn't any wind. As you can see, the ball goes to Bolden. He would have had a touchdown here, gone all the way for a touchdown if we'd had one block. One more block. Michigan State's ball now. We put on a tremendous drive for a touchdown. The ball will travel 78 yards. Here's some real snap. The ball goes to Billy Wells. Billy Wells picks up 12 yards and a first down. We are splitting our line a little more in this second half in order to widen the UCLA's defense. Here's an inside reverse. Wells, the ball carrier, number 14. Wells' hometown is Menominee, and all the people up in that area are very proud of the wonderful record that he's made at Michigan State. There's a spinner play. Slonik, number 33, a great runner, taking the ball up for a first down and into UCLA territory. In fact, it's on the 37-yard line at the present time. Shift right, single wing. Slonik again takes the ball, picks up about 3 yards. About the 33-yard line. Billy Wells on a handoff brings it up to the 26, and this drive really takes them by surprise. There's an inside handoff to Bolden, who takes it to the 19. They really got a lot of snap now. Here's a quick handoff and a sweep by Wells. He's trying to cut back. They finally drive him out of bounds on the 13-yard line. Here's a spinner play by Slonik, who takes it to the 10. Handoff to Wells. They're really hitting hard and fast now down to the 5-yard line. Handoff to Wells again. He takes it to the 3. There's a handoff to Slonik. He goes to about the 1 before he's met by a defense that's quite determined. Here's a handoff to Bolden, and Bolden, number 39 from Flint, goes into the end zone for a score, and it's 13-14 now. Duckett holds, Slonik kicks, number 33 kicks, and it's good, and the score is all tied up. And believe me, everybody's feeling a little better right now, particularly everybody who's supporting Michigan State. Robinson kicks off into the end zone. This helped a good bit. So it is UCLA's ball on the 20, and Cameron goes off tackle. Picks up 2 yards on this particular play. Shift left for UCLA. Spinner play by the fullback is brought down by Neal and Bulla, number 51 and number 67. Quick kick by Cameron. We had our backs up fairly close, which is perfectly all right. The ball is taken by Wells, and he's driven out of bounds on about the 28-yard line. The option play, ball is pitched out to Bolden, and he's really met hard right there. Bolden weighs 157 pounds and about 5'7", but he's a wonderful boy. He was elected co-captain with Don Kauth to guide the Michigan State team for our next season. Here's a pitch out, or rather a pass to Bolden, and Bolden takes it right up to midfield, and I see the UCLA staff are sort of shaking their heads over there a little bit. They realize that our kids have sort of caught fire a little bit, and we go up past midfield now to about the 47. Usyk on a rollout pass looks for a receiver, throws it way downfield, intended to go to Bolden or to Honey. They are a little close together, and here's a pass with John Lewis, number 87, just having it bounce off of his fingertips. Here is a roughing penalty against UCLA. They roughed Usyk on that play, or according to the officials, they roughed Usyk. Coaches never get into any hassles on that, because we are in no position to know or tell whether it's a roughing penalty or not. But the officials do a very nice job. There were a couple of breaks one way or another in this game. That here's Wells going through real nicely down there for a long gain, way down to about the 5-yard line. That was a wonderful run. Nice blocking up there by the line, too. There isn't any back that could go any place without a line. Here is Bolden going up to the line of scrimmage before he was tripped and down. Our line is spread a little bit. The handoff goes in there to Wells, and number 14 goes up to the 1-yard line. Handoff to Wells, and Wells goes in for a touchdown, and Slonik will kick the try for point, and Michigan State will lead 21-14. The Michigan State cheering section is really having a good time for themselves now, and I wasn't feeling too bad myself. Usyk held, Slonik kicked. Slonik has had a marvelous record for kicking try for points throughout his 3 years of competition at Michigan State. Zagers, number 19 from Cadillac, kicks off. Ball's taken by Cameron. Oh, he's a tough runner, I'll tell you that. And he brings it up to midfield. The shift is to the left, UCLA having the possession of the ball now. Cameron is going to pass, and the ball went across to the left halfback who crossed right, or the right halfback who crossed right over the middle. Very, very good pass on that occasion. There's a play where there was a Statue of Liberty that didn't materialize. The ball is fumbled. Michigan State recovers. UCLA, they have not changed their defense. Matt Sock is the quarterback. He comes up, and Matt Sock fumbles, and the ball changes hands again, being recovered by UCLA. This, as I said, this Cameron was a real All-American. He could do all kinds of things: quick kick, punt, pass, call signals, and run. I understand that from everybody who knows him, he's a fine young fellow all the way around. They have a few new backs in there now. Stitz is in there for Stallwick. Stallwick was number 30, the player who crossed over into the middle and caught that pass. Here's the short punt formation. Villanueva is the passer. He's trying deep. Matt Sock intercepts. This Matt Sock really has a nose for the ball, which is very important in any football game. Michigan State's ball, a handoff to Wells, and they've stopped him on that particular one. In fact, they were looking for him. Their defense is just about the same. There's a fumble, and Michigan State loses the ball again down deep into UCLA's territory. Usyk was injured slightly on the play. Dr. Furig, Jack Ebenstall, and myself are there to watch him and to see that he's taken care of well. Those men do a wonderful job. Usyk gets in the last 4 minutes. His ankle was just bruised, not hurt in any way. The boy's health is always our first concern, and I believe that that's the way it should be. The pass was taken in there by Heidenfeld for the touchdown. UCLA scoring again. They miss this try for point, and Michigan State will lead 21-20. This was really an important factor in the game right there. This meant an awful lot to us to be ahead by 1 point. And when we do get another touchdown, you'll see that they would have to make 2 touchdowns or else 1 touchdown and kick a try for point, or kick a field goal in order to beat us. So that 1 point was a big factor in the game. We have some new backs in there right now. Morrill is at quarterback replacing Usyk, number 21. Morrill should be a real great quarterback as the years go by. He's a sophomore this year. The most brilliant job he did was against Minnesota. An inside handoff to Bolden, who picked up 7 yards. Michigan State with the ball. A dive by Wells, trying very hard for a first down, which he got. Quick handoff to the fullback, Slonik, number 33. UCLA using the 6-2 defense again. The end's playing very well. Morrill goes back to pass. Intended to go to Duckett, number 32, but the pass is incomplete. Bolden on his favorite play. Bolden scored 3 touchdowns against Minnesota, 3 touchdowns against Ohio State on that same play, that favorite play his. Morrill punts. Ball's taken by Cameron, and there are a whole host of Michigan State players down there to bring him down on the 15. Beautiful end play by Ellis Duckett here, who drove him inside. Fought the blockers off, going inside. Cameron picked up 5 yards, but marvelous end play. Earl Edwards has done a wonderful job with those ends. Shebo with the backs and Doherty with the line. I'm always proud of my assistants. They have this Daly in there right now at fullback again. They're trying, of course, awfully hard to get a touchdown right now. Cameron goes back, throws a pass. The pass is incomplete. Slonik was right on him to bring him down. UCLA puts a flanker out the left. He's covered out there. Cameron passes. Intended to go away down there to Loud, but it is incomplete. UCLA team is in right formation. Cameron is again going back to pass, and there he hits Stitz on a crossover, and Stitz goes down to the 40-yard line. He was a fine ball player, that number 24. UCLA is on the march again. They are in our territory. Cameron on a fake run and pass gets thrown for a loss here. Duckett, Bulla, and that meant an awful lot to us right there. Terrific loss. I believe it was 38 yards, something like that. So the cheering section starts again, but there was a very important play in the ball game. Cameron goes back. He throws a screen pass. Nice play by Fowler, number 70. Right on the ball. We are in a little different defense right now. We're in a 5-man line. The short punt. Cameron is thrown out of bounds as he's chased by 5 Michigan State players. UCLA forced to go into punt formation. We wanted to try to have them give up that ball, because if they don't, they can't score as long as we have the ball. Here is a wonderful run by Wells, 68 yards for a touchdown. Number 14 goes all the way on a punt return. Good blocking by the men who were in there, and this was awfully fast and furious, and believe me, quite a thrill to see that Billy Wells go all the way for a touchdown with good blocking by his teammates. Duckett, number 32, holds. Slonik kicks, and the score is 28-20. Robinson kicks off. Ball is taken by number 30, Stallwick. Cameron throws a pass out in the flat, covered by Morrill very well. UCLA in left formation, a spinner play, and Daly, the fullback, kept the ball to pick up a good bit of yardage. Shift right by UCLA. They have their original backfield in there right now. Cameron's going back to pass. He's rushed very hard. Here is Zagers of Cadillac going all the way for a touchdown. This is the one that was called back. You see the officials signaling, and there's a handkerchief down there. We do not question their decisions. The play is called back. Photographers around the Michigan State bench trying to get a picture of something, but we didn't put on too much action for them. Stiffs the ball carry on a reverse. Very well played by the Michigan State defensive group as the ball goes up there to about the 47. Cameron passes in there. Very nice pass to Long, number 81. They're trying desperately to score now, naturally. Played awfully well down there by Matsock. .27, Davenport hits the line. Ball is now in our territory. It's about on the 40-yard line. There's the quick shift to the short punt formation. Morley Murphy, number 71, is caught with it and offside. They go to the short punt again. The ball is there on the 36 there. We got that penalty, and the play on that occasion is a screen pass thrown in there to Herman, number 33. Davenport hits the middle, gaining very little. 1 minute, 5 seconds. Sometimes in a game, a minute's a long time. And we are having our eyes on the clock right now. The right end of UCLA was definitely in motion, and the play is called back as they throw a pass down to about the 8-yard line. Shift left by the UCLA team. Cameron is going back. Threw a pass there. It was knocked down by Postula, number 34 from Marshall, Michigan, Schulertown. 34, Cameron again, throws, and there's a scramble for the ball with Postula trying to get it and the UCLA player trying to get it. A lot of tension right now. We hope that they won't score, and we hope that we can win. There is an important play in the game. Matsock, number 43, intercepts. He's going up alongside of the UCLA bench. Finally, he's knocked out of bounds on about the 35-yard line. Michigan State's ball. Very little time left in the game. A handoff to Slonik. Here we have the end of the game. A wonderful game all the way around. Michigan State 28, UCLA 20. And here we have the fans down there taking the goalposts away.